So a couple of the guys just told us that it's not, you don't do it too often, but you had a video session this morning, went over some stuff. Did you have?
They told you that.
Yeah. Are they in trouble?
They're both getting fined. They're getting fined.
I won't tell you who said it.
No big deal.
But was there something you wanted to point out, a message you wanted to deliver?
Definitely, yeah.
Can you share anything?
No, I'm not sure. That's why, I wish they wouldn't say that to you, but it's no big deal. But
Yeah.
I don't want to share what I said to them.
But I've heard generally you're not like.
You know what the message was, really. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not going to tell you, but you know what the message was.
Reeves had told us that you're not a big video guy. I mean, this is before the season started, but is there a reason that you like to pick your spots with that?
You got to pick your spots. If you do it every day, it's not going to be effective. I mean, you pick your spots. Last night was a perfect time to do it, I guess, even though you don't ever want to do it, but last night was a perfect time to show them. You got to show them negativity once in a while. And, I'm a big positive guy that, keep pushing positive, but when there comes a time when you get a little bit loose and, it's always tough that first game after the road trip. You can talk about it all you want, but we didn't like what we seen in the first period, so we wanted to correct some mistakes and make sure that, the mistakes are there, but the bottom line is you got to prepare yourself to play. You got to get ready to play the games, and we weren't ready in that first period.
You had said that you wanted more from Lafreniere, and he just said that he understands that, and he wants more from himself. He talked about winning the battles and being more physically involved. Is that what you're talking about, or is there a greater...
Yeah, and, I'm glad Laffy took a little responsibility for that but he's not alone. There's a lot of guys, and, I coached against the Rangers for a few years, and you come in here and you say that it's a good team. That's a good team on paper. It's a skilled team, but you got to get grittier. You got to, you're playing Calgary last night. They're a big, heavy team. They're in the Western Conference. You know how they play. And if you're not going to respond to the way they play a little bit, we'll play like we did last night. It wasn't good enough. That started the game pretty much, even though we got back in the game in the third period. That dictated the game, and I just didn't like the way we won. We battled for pucks, the one-on-one battles, and we got to become a man's team, and that's what we're trying to do. It's coming. It's getting better, but you got to respond in those big games. We responded in that game in Nashville, and I really liked it on the road. But last night, and again, you don't make excuses, but it was a. I think we played the most games in the league right now, so the guys might have been a bit tired, and I hope that's what it was. But we want to play a better game than that. We want to expect, our opponent's going to come in here. They're a big team. They're a good team. They play hard, and we got to play harder. And that's what we were disappointed in last night.
Let me just continue. But just further, is there a larger, when you say that about Lafreniere, are you only talking about last night, or are you talking about it in general? You think he has more to give, and what is it that he has more to give? I
like Laffy a lot. I've liked him from day one since we got here in training camp. He's got skill, he's got talent, but you got to grow. You got to keep getting better, and it's those little plays that probably marked 10 of them in the first period last night that we had the puck on our stick and it went to their guys, and that can't happen. Like, we want to make those skill plays all the time, and there's a fine line of making those skill plays that work and those skill plays that end up in the back of our net are grade A scoring chances, and that's what happened in the first. Laffy's going to be a great player, and it's not Laffy alone. There's a lot of, we got some younger kids out there that are making those same mistakes, and we just can't make those mistakes and expect to win hockey games. And we got away with it in Toronto, but we didn't get away with it last night, so you gotta make sure they're accountable for that. And the kids know, like we show them on video, they know, they see the mistake, they know the mistake, they know that's not the way we want to play. It happens in a game, so we got to adjust it and make sure that, it's not going to happen next game. They're going to make mistakes, but we can't make as many as we made last night.
You talk about grittier, and you talk about Calgary being a big, heavy team. But didn't your team out-hit them? I mean, like, when you...
I don't go by those stats. Okay. We had hits, but those pucks that came from our defenseman to the half wall and we lost those battles, that's what I'm talking about. That's the pucks that got to get out and get into the neutral zone and make them come out of the zone. Because too many times it stopped at the blue line and it went back in our zone. And those little fancy plays through your feet that don't work most of the time. When they work, they're pretty to see, and it looks good, but we just didn't have the battle level. We didn't have the awareness in the first period. And again, when we watch the tape back, 85% of it was the first period. The clips I showed them today, 85% was the first period.
you never want to lose like you did last night, but do you think it was a good teaching moment? Do you think that it opened their eyes a little bit?
Yeah, no, there's definitely, you know, you got to take some good out of losses, you know. I mean, it's a long year, you're not going to win 82 hockey games. But I guess it's just disappointing because you have such a good road record. You come off that road record and you come home to your fans last night and you throw a stinker at them the first 20 minutes. That's what's disappointing. That's what frustrates the coach. That's what frustrates the players. They didn't want to, they don't want that to happen, but I guess if you look over the last number of years in the NHL, that's what happens when you come home sometimes. Probably, I'm guessing 3 out of 4 games, that's what happens. And it's too bad, but it's part of it. It's part of the travel, and we came out flat. We picked it up after that, but it was a little too late.
So I understand the emphasis on competing, getting the puck north, playing north.
Mm-hmm.
But do you need more from your skill guys, your quote unquote
100%, 100%. You know, they're good players, they're talented players, and the skilled guys got to buy into the system too. You know, they got to they got to chip the pucks once in a while. I don't mind guys making some plays in the offensive zone, and sometimes it gets turned over. Then you at least got a chance to come back and play good defense. But when we're turning pucks over inside our blue line, a lot of times those end up in grade A chances, and that's what really happened in that first period. But no, we're going nowhere if our skilled guys aren't our best players.
You have, 7 5-on-5 goals this year? Or 9 5-on-5 goals in 7 games?
Yeah.
It's obviously tough to win that way anyway, but it's certainly tough when you don't get any production from the power play.
Yeah, no, the power play was 0 for 2 last night. I think they had a couple chances, but not good enough. Again, it took some momentum away, the second one. But it's just small samples of it. Like I said, it's not like we were 0 for 5 last night, 0 for 2. And I think the first one, Stromer had a real good shot, but that was the only real good look they had.
Lafreniere just talked about consistency. He said he feels like he's had some good games and not so good games. Do you see more aggression from him when he was playing with Blais and Hedel, whereas maybe is he deferring a little bit when he's playing with more established guys like Mika and Kreider?
But no, I don't think so. I hope not. I mean, he better play. We want him to play the same game no matter who he's playing with. You know, we told him, we told all our younger players, we want you playing a 200-foot game. You got to play a 200-foot game to be successful in this league. And you go out there for 35, 40-second shifts. If you can't back check as hard as your forecheck, then there's something wrong. And that's what we expect from him. Like I said, it sounds like we're tough on Laffy. You know, there was a lot of guys last night that didn't have a good game. I mean, not just Laffy. It was far from just Laffy.